This sketchbook took me 4 years to finish. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be showing you a tone tan sketchbook that I finished a long time ago. This sketch was started back in 2017 and I finally finished into 2021. I use it mostly as a place to experiment. I wasn't trying to make finished pieces, just learning and trying different things. There's a mix of everything in here: Prismacolor crayons, Ohuhu markers, some Copic work, and even Faber-Castell Pitt markers. You'll see a bit of everything, from fantasy drawing to more realistic studies, and even some comic style work. Looking back at it now, I can really see how my style started to change over time. At the beginning, I was really just experimenting with materials and trying to understand how they work on tan paper. I wasn't focused on finished pieces here, just getting comfortable with color and texture. I was testing different materials a lot, especially seeing how markers and crayons behave on this paper. Some combinations work better than others, but that's kind of what this sketchbook was for. Around here, I feel like my style started to shift a bit. I started learning more into stylized faces and characters instead of just studies, with pencil, color crayons, markers, you name it. It was fun, really fun. I learned a lot. You can see here some swatches of my Prismacolor crayons. These were my first crayons that I ever owned, and I really liked them a lot. They're very soft and very bright in colors. Of course, there's a lot of, things about those crayons, but nevertheless, they work for me very fine. You can see how realistic I could get with those crayons. You see that eye? That was my best work I've ever done in an eye, to be quite honest with you. There is also some sketches you can barely see. This was like a COVID-19 COVID thing. And then some notes, little doodles, just for fun. I have also experimented with 3D coloring. Markers. Markers were the best thing that I have ever, I think, bought in my stash. I think that's the best money I have ever spent. I think the Copic markers are the only things that keep me going every time I don't know what to do. This is where I started getting more into character work and comic style drawings. You can kind of see exploring expressions and personality more here, especially with faces, creatures, things like that. This small sketch here that I'm going to show you, like I'm pointing right there, it's a woman and a baby. It's very special to me, very dear to me, so I really like that. It was done in pencil or graphite. Now we're getting into comic craziness. This is still one of my favorite pieces from the sketchbook. I remember spending more time on this one compared to the others. I always have a hard time drawing also female characters, but overall, you know, it's all about learning the process, learning how to deal with the markers, with the crayons, especially on a 10-tone paper sketchbook, which is very fun to use. I highly recommend if you have ever done that. I highly recommend it. Some pages worked, some didn't, but I kept them all in here. I like seeing the messy parts too. It shows the process. You see, this one is pretty good. I really put a lot into it, and it was done with the Ohuhu markers, and I really like this one. This one is another favorite of mine, very strong. This one I didn't like too much. I think the proportions are not right. And the way he's, you know, kind of going on a side is weird. And this one, proportions are not right, but it's, hey, it's okay. It's a learning process, especially with comics. You know, it's not that easy. So this is my finished dance sketchbook from 2017 to 2021. Looking back at it, I can really see how much I was experimenting and slowly finding my style. It is not perfect, but I think that was I like most about it. It shows the whole process. If you enjoy the sketchbook tour, I'll be sharing more of my older and current work soon. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow my art journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Goodbye.